Hey guys, Aaron Garza, founder here at Pureline Nutrition in Texas. Hope you're doing extremely well. We've got a cool video for you today, but first of all, before we move on, make sure and hit the subscribe button and hit the alert button so that you're alerted to any new video content we put out about training, nutrition, supplementation, and all that good stuff. Also, if you're in Texas, make sure and visit one of our Pureline Nutrition stores. We'd be happy to do a free body analysis on you and get you started on your path to body transformation. Okay, today's video is about losing body fat. It's probably the number one thing we are asked about here at Pureline, whether it's people coming into our stores, whether it's people emailing us. Body fat is probably the biggest category of people that we see. And the other reason I really wanted to shoot this video is because yesterday I was reading an article that said that 50% of Americans will suffer from some type of obesity-related disease by the year 2030. I was blown away. I thought we were going in the opposite direction. I thought we were, as a country, getting in shape, we were losing body fat, we were taking care of ourselves. I mean, it seems that way, but it may be that most of the people that I follow on Instagram or most of the people that are around me in everyday life are people who actually work out and take care of themselves, where the greater majority out there still hasn't jumped on board. So if you know somebody that needs to lose weight or body fat in particular, or maybe I'm talking to somebody who is trying to do that, this video is specifically targeted to you, and it's entitled The 3 Laws of Fat Loss. So let me talk about these 3 laws because I think they're pretty good. I think they're pretty standard and they make a lot of sense, and they're essential. If you follow them, you will see good results. The first law is something I call prioritizing protein. Now, most people, when they look at their plate, they've got a lot of carbs or fats, a little bit of protein, but they're not prioritizing protein. And let me tell you why protein should be the number 1 macronutrient that you prioritize. Number 1, protein has a thermic effect. Basically, what that means is it requires more energy for your body to break down and digest and absorb protein than it does carbohydrates or fat. Now, that's important because that energy creates calorie burn, and you're able to burn calories more rapidly throughout the day. It's an important part of the thermic effect. The other thing that protein does is it creates what's called a satiating effect. Essentially what happens with satiation or satiating effects is that you're less likely to binge on carbs or sugars or other foods when you have a larger percentage of your calories coming from protein at your meals. Now there's a lot of reasons for this. Number 1, your body breaks down protein slower than carbs or fat, so it takes a little time before you get hungry. Most of us, if we eat a steak or a chicken breast or even egg whites, as opposed to a plate of pasta, will find that it takes us longer to get hungry after that protein than it does having that plate of pasta. So when you look at your plate or when you are eating, make sure that you're prioritizing protein. The other thing that protein does that's super important, it helps you maintain lean mass and even helps you build lean muscle tissue. Now that's important because when we're looking at it as a whole over a period of time, we want more muscle tissue and less body fat on our bodies to burn more calories as a whole. Number 2, lifting weights. Now this one in the past has gotten a lot of questions because people are kind of like, especially females, are like, man, I don't know if I want to lift weights. I'm going to get too bulky. I'm going to look big. But now with research and science showing that lifting weights is the most essential component of fat loss because you're burning calories not just during the time that you train with weights, but 10, 11, 12 hours after the session. So if we compare that to jogging, walking, or any other cardiovascular activity, we note that with that activity, we're only burning calories during that 45 or 50 minutes that we attempt the actual exercise, as opposed to weight training, where we're burning calories not only during the weight training session, but up to 24 hours afterward as our body is trying to repair and recover. So it's an extremely important component that a lot of people don't look at when they look at weight training. Now, if you were to ask me what's the best, is it cardio or weights? Honestly, I think the answer falls right in the middle. I think it's a combination of both. Weight training for 45 to 50 minutes per day, plus an additional cardio workout of 25 to 30 minutes. That's the absolute ideal. If you can get that done, then that would be probably better than just weight training alone, but a lot of people can't. They can only do one or the other. In that regard, I would probably say do an intense weight training workout. Number 3 is eating fewer calories than you burn. Now this sounds like pretty much common sense. We want to burn more calories or exercise or put more energy output than we want to put into our body. And this requires a little bit of discipline. You've got to look at your diet. You got to figure out, hey, am I at a maintenance caloric level? And how you figure that out is you get on Google and you get a maintenance caloric counter and you figure out, hey, this is what I need to be intaking daily. We want to be a little bit below that. Now, there's a lot of ways to do that. For me, the easiest way is to make sure, first of all, that I'm eating pretty much the same thing every day for a week. Once I can get that established, then I can simply take a few calories away from one of the meals that I'm really not that hungry at. Usually it's breakfast. Sometimes it's my afternoon meal, or sometime late in the afternoon. I can actually take some carbs and sugars away from that meal and just keep my protein the same, and my body fat will start coming down. It's not as hard as it sounds, but you definitely have to put a little time into it. Look at your diet, figure out where you can kind of make some changes. And in the beginning, it may be as easy as just, cutting out certain things that you've been eating late at night, like cookies and, sugars and stuff like that. So it might not be that hard, but as you go along, you're gonna have to get a little bit more calculated about it. Look at your diet over the course of a week and see where you can pull down from. But remember, don't pull from protein. Protein is the most important thing for helping you maintain muscle, and you want to retain muscle tissue while losing fat loss. So those are 3 core things, what I would call the laws of fat loss, that you can follow absolutely immediately, and you can pass these on to friends or people who may need something to help them out. Now, where do supplements come into all this? Supplements are absolutely beneficial if your goal is to accelerate the fat loss process. You can always use a thermogenic, like our XP2G. You can always use a diuretic, like something to help increase the rate that the thyroid burns calories. Those are great additions, and they're only going to amplify the effects that you get from those 3 laws, so check those out. If you have questions, feel free to email us at info@thepureline.com or give us a call at 1-800-632-1402. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you next time.